I had unlimited budget, could do whatever I wanted. I can echo what John said about, capturing the knowledge, the oral histories that the Navajo have, because there is a lot there. They continue to live in this landscape that was the Greater Chaco world, and they continue to curate those stories that are about this Greater Chaco world. So there are things that they know that sometimes we have to discover through excavation, but they know it because it's in their history. So I think that would be something that would be real important. The other thing is to come back through and use technology to remap, all of Chaco. High resolution aerial photography, not, the stuff that we have, but really good stuff. Half a centimeter or better for resolution. And to go through and document each one of these buildings in 3D using a laser scanner and photogrammetry. And then we could begin to analyze them at the same accuracies and knowledge of the people who built it. I mean, right now, it's really a shame how poor the mapping and understanding of these structures is. And, some of them have been excavated for 100 years now. So why haven't we put an investment into documenting the standing masonry and the non-standing masonry and figuring out what everything looks like in a larger construct of a digital environment where you can move from place to place, you can compare things. And I think part of the looking at the big picture, what you need to do is, if you just look at Chaco, you don't understand the true context of Chaco, meaning where we're at, Chaco Cultural National Historical Park, without looking at the outlying areas. If you're just looking at the outlying areas, you don't understand them in context with Chaco without working here. So you need to combine the two, because there are relationships you see in the small scale architecture and features you see outside the canyon that then all of a sudden this big architecture and the big things inside the canyon begin to make more sense. And the same is true in the canyon. There's stuff here that is pretty obvious, and if you don't see it in context here, you don't understand it in context out there. So that you need to work in both areas, and you really need to have time to observe both areas, meaning you can't go out and expect to document a site in a day and really learn anything about the site. You need to spend time on it. You need to spend time walking around and looking at it without trying to document it before you try to document it. Then you actually learn more about it.
You call that pre-documentation, documentation?
Yeah.
I just thought of an example that I think is telling in what I was trying to say about thinking about the actual realities and experience at Chaco, which is something we were talking about at lunch, but it's the roads and the fact that the roads have untreated surfaces. I mean, they're dug down into soil that's very rich in clay content. So the undeniable reality is that anytime it rained or it snowed and melted, those roads would be extremely muddy and even full of water, which, here we've gone with Chaco roads research for all these decades, and we've never thought like, whoa, well, you probably couldn't walk down that thing quite a bit of the time. And I think it also relates to then, well, maybe it being filled with water was important, and maybe that was part of the whole thing.
Yeah, I can't see a procession going down the roads in the wintertime, in the daytime. Yeah, they wouldn't make it. That's a thought.
Yeah, a procession, or much less a guy with a backpack full of corn.
Right. Or a couple of guys with a log.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see that. Yeah.